Smurf was honestly going to scale into the game regardless because he chose a tank build. Lex, on the other hand, was completely crushing the Kog'Maw. They needed to rotate him into the top lane, give him that farm, be able to push down a couple more turrets. They could have legitimately had the early snowball, but it just wasn't to be.
Yeah, it wasn't happening. But we are in a Champions Select, ladies and gentlemen. Bard, Aurelia, and Jax, or Bidge, have been banned by CIS, and Nivea, Malphite, Lulu, Amel. That's not as great.
No changes.
Smurf, there it is.
No changes when it comes to the Turkish bans. Obviously, adaptation from the CIS. Not surprised by Fiora, but
yes.
Doldrin is throwing down a gauntlet.
This is the Riven player of the team, finally on the Riven. Well, Nara will probably play it. Just pick it up in the mid lane and demolish Kira again. But I'm so excited to see Doldrin on this champion. And that lock-in was so fast.
And this is going back to the Worlds discussions and the Worlds meta, where it was Fiora into Rivens, when it was just a straight-up, I dare you to fight me. And I love to see this matchup play out, especially because I think the pressure is a little bit more on the Fiora when it comes to that riposte timing.
Oh, yeah.
Predicting when you're going to get the stun or using the knock-up, etc. It's going to be explosive.
It's just about the junglers, honestly. Like, you know, we talked about this matchup so often at Worlds, and then it was 100% whoever had the better jungler won it. As soon as you get ahead, it's just no coming back.
So,
and both of them 1v2 junglers if they do get that early snowball.
So game 2 then is won by Turkey with Elise and Riven.
Yeah, 100%. That is an absolute impossible combo to get out of. The W animation cancel that happens at the flash timing on your E is so hard to predict as a Fiora player. And if it's not on point, then the layering of CC is just before you can get your riposte out.
Yeah, the Cocoon would come in very easily. We'll see whether they do play it out like that, or whether Crystal is going to help out Holy Phoenix a little bit more, because he hated that early game last time. He's probably talking to him like, please, spend some time in my lane. Didn't have fun. But Kira cycling through some champions here, locks in the Brand, and there's the Gragas.
So the last time Dimonko played Brand, it was comboed with a Graves from Lex. And it did not go super great. It was against LATAM, in fact, their first game of the tournament. They ended up losing that. They also had a Kassadin middle, which is something Kira has run a few times. And he's hovered the Victor. I'm expecting the Victor again. Get that wave clear. Play at arm's reach. And Turkey will be able to respond with whatever they like.
Well, Holy Phoenix with a shout out to his pentakill in 2014. Gamescom qualification to Worlds. Naru switching around, we'll see what they do decide to go with. It's Turkey. A few options now, of course. One up in this best-of-5 series. A little bit more room to move as we head into game 2.
I'm looking over at the bans one more time from the Turkish lineup, and they have once again banned Lulu. I know that it's not really surprising. I wonder if Kira goes back to Orianna. Just tries to neutralize a lane, get a control mage in there, and is able to make it work.
And I think it depends on the carry. If Lex locks in something that could be a little bit later game scaling, like the Jinx, like the Tristana, I like the Orianna. And we'll see if Kira feels the same way. It'll also give you relatively safe wave clear. But then what does Naru run into it? Naru in that middle lane has got a fairly wide champion pool. Diana, Ahri. He's also run Kassadin earlier in the tournament, so there's options there for Naru.
I want Naru to play LeBlanc. Just have the most disgusting sort of solo queue-based team that you'd ever see, with the Elise, with the Riven, with the Thresh. Ugh.
Honestly, if he's going to play a LeBlanc, he may as well just take his Ahri into this matchup. Always historically done well against Twisted Fate. If you don't get your vision perfect on Twisted Fate against Ahri, you can never leave lane, because she only needs 2 of the dashes to kill you.
Oh, this is obnoxious. Varus Brand. In a playtest on stage, Rusty made my life a living hell with that combo, and Atlas, you were at the helm as well.
Yeah, that was. I was trying to remember when that game happened, and that was, in fact, that one there. But that was all Rusty, that dude on the Brand. That's why whenever I see Brand support, I get terrified.
And the thing is, if Lex and Dimonko can keep Holy Phoenix and Double Doge again at arm's reach with the poke, with the Pillar of Flame, then yes, they can do okay. But I still prefer the options that a Thresh Kalista is going to give you once your team starts to skirmish, once your team starts to group.
Yeah, I 100% agree, and they still have a very good 2v2 laning phase because of that Soul Link, because of the W passive along with the Flay. It's honestly one of my favorite lanes behind now Bard Misfortune, which every single time I see these two guys play, they just completely wipe the floor with people. And it will be, as you requested, Atlas, not my Ari pick, but your LeBlanc. So take us through it play-by-play, man.
Oh, well, look, I actually don't know how it works. I just wanted to see it.
You know what?
Just,
I respect your honesty.
That's the solo queue, you know? That's what happens. It's always the LeBlanc, and she's really frustrating no matter who you are. But Naru, of course, this guy's got something to prove. This is still an assassination-based champion.
And the problem I have with the CIS squad is there's so much pressure now on Kira and Dimashke because Lex and Demonko, I think, are going to get bullied by Holy Phoenix and Double Doge if they ever get caught. One Ren slow into a death sentence means they're in so much trouble on low mobility champions. And Dimashke is going to get beaten by Crystal. So Kira has to get a good Destiny to help one of those lanes. And I think that just opens up the other lane to get picked on by Turkey.
See, my problem with it is we've seen the CIS region group very frequently and get caught out in pairs, especially their mid laner Kira and Lex walking next to each other. Both of them don't have dashes in this game. If Riven ever gets on top of both of them, if Tholdren is able to land any damage, LeBlanc coming in over the top, the Hurricane, that's a lot of pain.
See, this is where the brand and the Varus are ingenious, because they have point-and-click stuns and roots, so that when Tholdren throws himself at them, he's going to get stunned instantly. See, it's next level
The mind game
games.
has arrived at IWCA. I hope that's the case. I hope he just dives in and gets exploded every time now. You'll be a genius.
We'll
It's
see
not
whether
going
it
to.
happens.
It's not going to. But you got to try find something that they can do against it.
It's the play-by-play way, isn't it? It's like, well, you've just stated that this is all going to go wrong, so let's clutch at some straws.
What is the silliest thing that could go wrong for
Quickly,
this
let's
to
talk
work?
about score division. No, let's not do that. Back onto the rift, ladies and gentlemen.
Please, observers.
Here we are. Kira running down the lane. IWCA game number 2. CIS trying to get one back against Turkey. They'll still have a chance to go for the reverse sweep, even if they lose this one. Kira locks in the gold card. There's the trade one. Sort of. They both go back to base, potentially.
And the thing is, in game number 1, Naru has the counter pick into Victor. And in game 2, Naru has the counter pick into Twisted Fate. I mean,
God.
all of the ingredients of the same recipe can get made once more.
Smurf won that trade.
Yeah, Tholdren made a vital error in face-checking that bush.
Certainly did. Smurf also has some of the luckiest RNG in the world. To get a Vital in the same spot twice in a row, that's instant trigger. Like, as soon as, if that ever happens to me in top lane, I'm just like, oh, I'm done.
I have a feeling we should actually rotate the player cam just a little bit. Just tilt it slightly. But Smurf and Dimashke.
That's worse than mine.
Yeah, I know, look,
Yeah, that was...
Come on, I'm standing here next to you, quick shot. I got to try my very best.
I rolled my eyes at you, Atlas.
It's the reaction that I want every time.
Lex and Demonko, I think, have to be so careful. Because the ability to just really get all in if Dumbledoge connects. And Dumbledoge has been the game-changer support all tournament long.
I cannot agree more. And Kira just stunned a creep, so that's not great. But we won't talk about that for much longer.
Turn that player cam.
Yeah,
just a little bit.
Yeah, in fact, the whole thing.
So
Whole screen.
What I want to talk about is that they've once again just picked all losing lanes. Like, this is, we said they're a great team fighting team, and they really are the CIS region, but if they can never get there, if they just continue to pick a weaker jungler, all losing lanes, I don't actually understand how they think they're going to be on an equal footing.
Kira trading, using pick a card basically on cooldown, and the moment he throws out the auto, Naru looks to trade back.
Yeah, but the mistake he's making is you're supposed to pull red cards. You're supposed to toss red cards at the creep wave to get into the turret, get that experience advantage, try and poke them out so they have to use resources. Instead, he's going for Naru, trying to assert dominance, and Naru just trades much more efficiently.
He's actually farming better as well. As there's a riposte. Aldrin in a bunch of trouble in the top lane. This could be a 1v1 as Smurf waits for the next Q. The Valor wears off. One more Vital, but the flash has to be used. Dominance asserted in the top lane.
100%, and Smurf much more comfortable this time around on the Fiora. I said it comes up to junglers, not if you fight him at level 1. It doesn't, he can just fight you there. And the passive coming up trumps.
So let's see what Tholdren can do in that lane. Early teleport as well. Pillar of Flame, as well as a Hail of Arrow, is going to be annoying. But Kira's now in trouble. There is an Ignite available for Naru versus the Cleanse from Kira, and Kira's run out of mana.
Dimashke is here as well. It's a really annoying
Here comes Elise. Crystal is in behind them.
Coon lands on a Damashka here as Naru's trying to get some damage down. That's a lot of burst from Crystal. The Ignite, the flash, and first blood goes down to Naru. This guy's getting going one more time.
He certainly is, and the target selection was beautiful. There is a cleanse on the Twisted Fate. So stuff that guy, kill the jungler, get yourself double buffs.
First blood, level 4, and now a blue buff for Crystal. That is a terrifying position to be in, especially because Kira already had the losing matchup.
Yeah, 100%. All of a sudden, unlimited mana for a LeBlanc into a Twisted Fate. First blood, gonna go back, pick up an item as well. This is so scary.
Really scary. And on top of that, Holy Phoenix Dumbledore having a very different experience this time around. 28 CS to the 21. On the side of Turkey's lineup, and Crystal, he's even down here, he knows. Look, Tholdren, all right, you lost that 1v1, but you didn't die, so I'm just going to leave you.
The hard CC and the low mobility champions means there is kill threat, but the skill shots need to land.
Well, speaking of which, Lex is going to get picked up, Blade back as well, that's a lot of burst. The heal has to be used with the Ignite. Inefficient use of the Summoner spell, but he's going to survive.
He still had to use it, because if he didn't, the repel into Venomous Bite definitely would have been enough. And Crystal has Flash to escape after that as well. And there is such a big minion wave. They're already losing out. You can't afford to die on a wave like that. So I think correct use of Summoner spells.
Just on the CS differences alone, as well as 1 kill, Turkey has already got a 1,300 gold lead. At 5 minutes, that is massive. Now, Smurf will claw some of that back because of this big minion wave, but these losing lanes from the CIS are going to get bullied until a tower falls, and this snowball will become an avalanche in a matter of minutes.
Yeah, and honestly, as the hook lands again.
Another one. DeMarco gets flayed back.
That's
the red
just
used a
disrespect.
little bit early. Stun goes down. Dumbledore, sorry, taking a lot of damage.
The problem is Demonka's got no more mana, nor does Lex, so that can't happen again.
Aldrin.
Kira's gone.
Oh, he missed.
He gets the stun under the tower, though, as the wildcards come in. Naru has to get out.
Got the teleport out of the top lane, but not really much else secured. So a little bit of a wasted roam there. Generally, you want to wait for the point-click CC, not throw the chain, but oh my, I am a caster.
You're Jake. Spawn Tiberi. I can answer that question. Don't you
Well
worry.
done, Atlas. But yeah, Kira's going to have a small respite thanks to Naru being chunked up by that tower. Naru will hit level 6 shortly. Blue buff is just worn off, but Ignite will be up in probably around a minute's time. And that's when Naru can look once again to go heavily aggressive and try to pick up a kill. Smurf, with the CS from that previous wave, has now taken a small lead, but Tholdren can farm safely under the tower.
Yeah, as long as he doesn't get dove here. That roam was actually really good for Tholdren, just not for Naru, because he got forced back. Tholdren knew the wave was going to bounce back, so he just tried to use that time efficiently, go somewhere else, and not get ganked. You see, he's playing this so safe right now, warding up, backing away, because he knew the top of the jungle was being occupied by the CIS region, and now that he knows it's safe, back under the turret to farm.
Well, is it safe as Damashka is making his way up here? Going to give up on it now as not want to dive Tholdren at the moment. Does hit level 6.
And of course, Tholdren's going to be so careful because Kira does have that destiny. And that goes for Holy Phoenix and Dumbledore as well. If they continue to push as aggressively as they were for the opening 5 levels of the game, then Kira is going to have a very easy route in behind them. Luckily for Turkey, Smurf's teleport is still a long way away from being available.
Yeah, Tholdren's is actually there as Starlighter pushing out here on the bottom side. Probably want to go back at some point. Oh no, actually just made it back to lane.
And this is one of my favorite things about Dumbledore. He's not content on just winning his lane. The biggest criticism for me for CIS last game was they won the lane and then they did nothing with it. Dumbledore gets his 80 carry Holy Phoenix ahead and then just goes somewhere else. Make sure Tholdren's safe. Goes, visits other lanes, roams around, puts down some wards, has a presence on the map. And even though it's cost Holy Phoenix a couple of CS, he's still going to be up. He's still stronger in the 2v2. And it relieves pressure everywhere else.
Naru's still screaming ahead there in the mid lane. About 20 CS the lead. And now that Dumbledore makes it back, I mean, they have to get completely away from that lane.
A little more intricate thing of it is that the catch-up mechanic in experience also means they get a net bonus experience value out of his roam as well, because level 6 is picked up. They're actually going to get Dumbledore back to level 5 quicker.
And Lex does not have flash, so if he steps too far forward, Holy Phoenix can just lob a thresh at him, point-blank flay, and that will be an additional kill for Turkey. So you can see the respect from Lex and DeMonco backing away.
I love the phrase lob a thresh as well. That's fantastic.
And you can see there's one lane left to win. It's in the top lane. And all of a sudden, the Elise is there.
Yeah, Smurf thinking he can go for the 1v1 again. Thaldren actually came out ahead in that trade, and Crystal hunting down the Fiora.
The lane's pushing back as well. Smurf all of a sudden a little bit zoned off that. They're going in bottom lane as well.
Yeah, there's the pillar of flame as DeMonco looking to try and clean this one up. Demarche's here. They're not going to find it. Meanwhile, in the mid lane, the chains miss. And Naru says, no, I'm back here. No, nothing happened, man. It's fine. Another pillar of flame as Holy Phoenix very far forward. Pierce lands. Ren not going to be used. There's now Crystal. He finds his way into the mid lane. Gold card's there. Flash has to be used immediately as Demarche's around. I don't know how that passive went off there, Naru, but no one was with you.
He hit both of the wild cards, actually. Nails Crystal with the middle and Naru with the right. All of a sudden, Siege in the mid lane. This is big threat because Demarche has his ultimate.
And of course, the limited wave clear from the Turkish squad is their biggest weakness here. They need to be in short or melee range. So if the CIS can continue to siege, Pillar of Flame finds two. And that is a lot of damage.
So DeMonco starting to claw this lane back a little bit for the CIS region. Kira once again threatening with the gold card.
Wildcards as well on point. What I love about this bottom lane with the Brand and Varus is that all of their damage is AoE. They just managed to get both of the laners down to about a third health at the same time.
Yeah, and of course with Phoenix and Dumbledore low, if one of them does get stunned out, the burst that can come from Brand Varus can kill either of them. They do want to sustain, play a little safer. Just hold on to the 20 CS lead. Don't put yourself at risk of giving away any catch-up gold to the CIS squad, which has been put down quite handily.
Especially not when Crystal is shown top side of the map. There's just no pressure for the CIS region. Destiny.
Yeah, has been popped. He wants to find something in the top lane. Thaldren wanders casually away. I believe that's the counter
They got Thaldren's flash. They did get the flash, and of course Riven with her Q and E will put a lot of distance the moment she sees that.
And the other thing is, you don't want a Destiny too far on the other side, because then Riven just dashes on top of the target and kills you. So it's really scary. They get something good for it.
The thing is, every time you see a Twist of Fate use that Destiny and not get anything, it is a monumental loss. The cooldown is incredibly high at level 1, and the amount of freedom you now give the Turkish team. They have teleport available, they know Twisted Fate can't use anything, so this allows Crystal to make plays at the sides of the map.
And I know this is why last time I talked to Rusty about it, I'll have to check back in for this patch, but why we both don't like the item build that he's going. For the same amount of money, he could have had cooldown reduction boots and half of his Morellonomicon, and 20% cooldown reduction would make that much more bearable for only a flash. Instead, he's going for a Rod of Ages, no cooldown reduction. That is such a huge investment for only a summoner spell.
Of course, you know, the efficient item now, Yamato Cannon has spoken about it before, but it's exactly right. Doesn't want to have it be as awful to miss that Destiny, but the chains land. Kira uses the cleanse immediately. Descent's going to go wide, but the Ignite's still down. Naru picks up the kill.
That was 100% Naru. Dumbledore's just wandered in for a hello, how you doing? But Naru completely outplays the mid laner, throws the second ultimate of chains after the cleanser came out.
Happened in game 1, happened in game 2, and I think it's going to keep happening as long as Naru has the counter pick available.
Well, Naru's been very impressive so far, over the last couple of days as well.
And Damashka's not had a chance to shine because his lanes are falling behind. He is in range to counter gank though, and here they come.
Yeah, there's the challenge down. Smurf trying to find something. Windslash doesn't find it. Damashka's here, trying to help out. There's the explosive cask. He wants to get back to the turret. The safety in Crystal doesn't have the cocoon.
Here comes Naru potentially. No, just walks into turret range, takes a couple of shots instead. And that was really unfortunate for the Turkish squad. They should have had 2 kills there potentially. Instead, they get nothing. A little bit of lane pressure back though.
Yeah. At least Damashka was in range to counter gank, but of course because of the champion choice, he's looking more for the mid to late game team fights. He's looking to be a beefier front line for his team. And this time around, CIS are not as out of control. Thaldren is a little more contained, but that is a very, very marginal statement because Naru, again stomping his lane. Holy Phoenix has got a 30 CS advantage, where the last game Lex still had a chance. This Brand Varus lane has not worked out.
And the thing is that both top laners are going to be equally as threatening to the AD carries as a Destiny comes out bottom.
Yeah. In goes the Descends, but that's not what they want. Goldcard lands onto Holy Phoenix just to make sure that they can pick him up, but it is going to be the Dark Passage that helps them out. Well named on that one, but the ult comes in. Demonco picks up the kill. Brand damage is huge, but Thaldren looking for something. Blade of the Exile not quite up just yet, but oh god, Smurf, massive damage. Naru obliterates the Brand. Flashes over the wall, he'll be safe. Picks one back up. It's a fantastic trade, though, in the end for Starladder.
Yeah, it's 2 for 1, but Naru is getting out of control. He's 3-0-0 again, 100% of the kills for his team.
If Lex sticks around, he's in trouble. Damashka is moving through the river, though.
Not going to get there in time.
The burst is so high. Mimic is up. 1. Naru. Now he's in trouble. 2v1. Naru's hesitation may have cost him his life. He can make away.
Oh, Distortion comes back out. Explosive cast was thrown. Naru still in trouble as the barrel lands. Distortion's going to be used, hanging around. Makes it back towards the turret, and he'll go back to base. No worries. He's never even in trouble, guys.
It's not what I felt.
Yeah, Cocoon lands. Venomous Bite is going to be there as there's the gold card. Oh, uncharacteristic by the Doge.
No, but that's much more like Kira that we were expecting coming off the 1v1s. As we take another look at this play in the bottom lane, Kira this time makes the Destiny work. Gets down there, actually really smooth moves from Double Doge here to flash with the Dark Passage. Sacrifices his life for that of his AD carry. And Thaldren just goes a little bit too deep, a little too early. Naru was in support, but they just didn't time it well enough.
Did you see the CS stun? It wasn't a retreating Riven, not the face-checking Riven, but 1v4, that's never going to work out for the Riven.
It certainly isn't, unless they go Distortion and AoE stun exactly at the same time. Kira, you're dead.
Yep, Kira is struggling right now. Burns to death on the red buff of Crystal, who doesn't even have the decency to repel. Just takes up the turret. They do take 2 in quick succession now. Bottom and mid lane.
There's that Avalanche, boys. 3,000 gold. 2 towers up. Thaldren can most likely hold off Smurf, but this is still a skill matchup. Even on gold, even on items.
Yeah, 100%. This is still... The danger is when they're in the middle of the lane, they can kill each other. No one can really get anything done under turret because the retaliation just isn't there. So it's just going to be more farming until, once again, the junglers get up there, or the mid laners at this point in the game, more importantly. But there we go.
Stun comes in.
Bottom
Destiny
lane,
has been procced. Yeah, was looking for bottom lane. Instead, Kira's just going to
die mid lane. Is that honestly? Or
I thought it was a bit far forward as well, with no tower to fall back to. Well, Kira's Twisted Fate, not game-changing yet. 2 Destinies flopping, one of them allowing at least some kills in that bottom lane.
Honestly, I'm more impressed with Naru than I am, like, lacking.
Disappointed, yeah.
Yeah, disappointed, I guess, good word. Oh, thanks, Naru.
Stun not going to find it as the chain comes in. That's the ultimate as Kira's looking for it. Wildcards go down, shut down in for Lex. There's all of the work. That was me.
It always happens.
3v1, that's not your fault, Spawn. You can take that one. CIS roam to try shut down Naru, but you know, he's got the counter matchup, and more importantly than having the matchup is winning it.
Yeah.
That's the important thing.
And when you do this hard counter so much, you kind of telegraph where the play is going to be. Damashka could have responded to that, but they have pulled it off very well.
Well, Dumbledore catches that ranged minion. And CIS, they do not get anything more than the kill. The top tower may still be defended by Thaldren, who's made his way up, and the bottom tower is not under siege. Demonco and Lex, they came to send a message to Naru saying, we will back up our star 1v1 player.
He's spooky. Holy Phoenix is going to get slowed down. Nothing else going to come of it, though. And if we can say anything about the Starladder team right now, is they got some weight for it.
The thing about the Starladder CIS squad, if they can force Turkey to defend towers, CIS absolutely win. The poke from Brand Varus Twisted Fate cannot be dealt with. The condition is they have to dodge every single chain thrown their way, and if Thresh gets thrown their way, they're in trouble. Because, oh, Double Doge is caught. This is good.
Throwing Thresh.
Yeah, but he just gave up Flash, gave up his ultimate,
Yep.
and there was a Callista right behind him.
Yeah. But he did not know that because his wards were simply not deep enough.
But he landed the body slam.
If the Callista was there, that would have been good.
That would have been great.
It's also huge. Damashko forced to smite that away, I believe. So denying blue buff from Kira as well.
Yeah, so no cooldown reduction through that at the Morellonomicon. All of a sudden, blue buff on the jungler. Kira not going to enjoy that. And this is really smart. Naru's like, unless they send the Fiora to Naru, who will probably be able to chase him down and kill him, no one else can really contest. So instead, they're forced underneath their turrets, and Turkey's just going to pick up free objectives.
Yeah, well, speaking of which, Dragon is going to fall down as Holy Phoenix is going to be able to rend that one to death. It is actually going to be the smite from Crystal. Nicely done. Hard to beat your own teammate when he does have a rend. So points to him. Holy Phoenix looking to build the Infinity Edge as his second item after that Hurricane. Seen a lot of different builds out of Callistas this tournament, but this has been the most successful, in my opinion.
I like the fact that there's different builds as well.
Yeah.
And it tells you a lot about, obviously, the state of the game, how it's played out, the style they're looking for as well, considering the Turkish team have nearly no
Goldrin
wave
can
clear.
go. He has ultimate, and Smurf just used riposte.
There's support coming from the jungle as well. More
He's
for the
trying to
Turkish
bait
team.
this. Damashko's there.
Everyone's there from Turkey as well. Dumbledore makes his way up. Spotted.
Destiny is available for Kira. Lex is moving that way, and Naru is running through the jungle. So more Star Ladder members could appear.
Oh. Windslash is now down as well.
That will be just enough brute force to take the tower. So keeping the gold relevant. You know, that 4,000 gold lead has now shrunk to 2. Smurf, he dodges the death sentence riposte, though, does not do anything. The box comes out, Damashka, he throws out the cast. He
Now they're in
finds
trouble.
no one. He's stuck down in place, and Turkey may be able to take him down. There
Naru.
comes Naru. He's not good enough for the kill. The Ignite will do the tick.
Oh my
a 3-man play. Dumbledore truly is a wizard. And Thaldred, he starts up the Star Ladder team. It's a double kill for Holy Phoenix. He's not done yet. Gets the quadra kill. And CIS are done.
That's what happens when you leave the Callista alone. Holy Phoenix comes up massive in that fight.
Holy Phoenix did nothing. He just
Cleaned up.
literally
Killed
said
4
that point
people.
clear. Watch this. Dumbledore's able to get a brilliant play. Naru clears a wall, and this is where it all starts. They get in on the back line, and Dumbledore hooks himself in, gets a 4-man play, and then sends in the Riven, sends in Naru. Honestly, all Holy Phoenix had to do was a move.
Reset, man. That's all it was. Oh, yeah, look at them. Auto attacks.
All of the CC is just there for Holy Phoenix to be able to do whatever he pleases. And the Turkish lineup, that's why they look really on point at the moment. That is very crisp execution in a choke point. They just understood how their composition worked in that manner. The hard CC, always going to win.
Really helps when Dumbledore is just brilliant on everything. Here is the target. Talden's coming in from behind. Naru's already used Mimic, and they're going to continue the chase.
Yeah, chain slam, but he does end up heading back to Monko. You are so dead, Mr. Brand. Should have used his dash move. Oh, wait, he's a Brand.
He's used the zombie skin because he's seeing the game in grayscale. Death sentence finds Damashke.
Can't flame over the wall, unfortunately, Dumbledore. Would have been a cute interaction if he could.
Oh,
Close. The wave clear from CIS might help them defend.
but they need to be careful because there's outright kill threat here if they don't play this right. In the end, Turkey will back away because Brand is back available. But in the open field, Turkey needs to drag this back to Baron, back to Dragon, because in the open field, there is absolutely nothing the CIS team can do.
Holy Phoenix now as well has that QSS. The Chains of Corruption that would have been awful to deal with. Now can just get removed instantly. Smurf hunting a Riven. Not even sure whether that's a great idea now, but
It's
he
interesting
does
to
have
see.
his counterside.
It's interesting to see Thaldren paying respect there as well. He doesn't need to fight. He doesn't need to duel. He's got, vision of Smurf, knows where they are thanks to the wards, and just pulls the resources away. It allowed Holy Phoenix more time. And in actual fact, this is a destiny for Thaldrin. He stuns Kira up. The gold card connects, and this should lead to a kill. Wow!
Tries to guess it. Wait, didn't even have flash.
Thaldrin is grinning from ear to ear.
Yeah, he certainly is. And I just want to go back to the 1v1 before the outplay from Thaldrin. The reason is because of the boots. So Thaldrin's gone boots for team fight. On the other side of the rift, Smurf's gone boots for lanes. And Ninja Tab8 shut down so much physical attack, especially the auto weaves in between Riven's kit, that it probably honestly still goes in the Fiora's favor if she plays it well. Their gold's pretty much equal, even at this point in the game.
So another destiny does nada.
Yeah, that's not great.
Kira wrote the wrong name in his notebook
again
for the 5v5, but Naru certainly has not. Ooh. Good riposte.
Very good riposte. Naru probably just comes back and does it again.
Yeah, exactly.
Mimic is not exactly on the longest cooldown.
5-1 and 9, so that would make this round 10. Fight!
Yep, well that's true.
But they've once again stalled it out. And this is what CIS has done well the entirety of the tournament. Oh, Smurf, he has a riposte here.
Missed times it though just a little bit. Dark Passage is there, but Naru wants to go in, of course. Smurf now in a lot of trouble. But Kira does get the gold card. Dumbledore, she's looking for it.
Death
Is
sentence.
the hook gonna land? He wants Smurf here, but the playback onto Kira. Oh, Death Sentence hits the minion they want because Crystal also cocoons it. And Thaldrin just says, I'll split push, guys. You can't even hit skill shots.
So Thaldrin, meanwhile in top lane, just happy to deny even more CS. There's no one but Smurf that can really contest this turret. And here he comes.
Teleport as well.
Whoa, no.
He's clone.
He's clone. He'll be okay.
Don't really know what chunked him. Let's assume the wild cards. There's that stun we talked about. Demonco, game-changing on brand. /S.
When he picks up a Ryla, he'll start doing some work, I'm sure, but definitely has been rough during the laning phase at least, and you can see Holy Phoenix really the beneficiary of that. Picked himself up at QSS, has that Infinity Edge, and a kill.
Yeah, Holy Phoenix just picks it up 1v1. So that's what you do, don't send the Riven.
I guess you
send the
can't,
Kalista.
You can't riposte an auto attack.
Well, you can, it just doesn't do a lot.
And the spears still go in, unfortunately, so the Ren just does even more damage at the end of the day.
Just, it's beautiful to watch. The Turkish team have got a very well-crafted picks and bans.
Oh, little froggy.
Oh,
no, he just, what?
I don't really know why we showed that little frog dying.
Suicide.
But the Turkish team put together great picks and bans. They execute in-game from minute 1. In lane matchups, they should be winning. They simply stomp. And it's really just, it's beautiful League of Legends by the numbers.
Yeah, 100%. And I went back and watched the game that the Turkish team lost last night, which was against the C region. And it was because of some really aggressive jungling. Like, there's no way else to describe what SOFM did in that game. He was Lee Sin and had exhaust and was kicking people in the head. And I really do think a lot of it comes from the fact that they continue to allow Crystal to get a stronger jungle in the damage kit.
Oh, gold card comes down. It's going to be the chain landing. Second chain as well. Everyone's dashing over every wall. In the meantime, Turkey say, well, I guess we'll just take Baron. Chains of Corruption land onto Holy Phoenix. The double play back, though, as Damashke has to deal with this Kalista. Brens to death. The ultimate comes out, but that's the QSS. Demonco, that crit from Kalista. I'm not used to seeing that. But, man, Starlighter really have to back away, but Smurf still wants something.
They keep them off the Baron at least, so Atlas, and that will mean the game is extended even further. We keep talking about the wave clear. Baron really would affect that. So Turkey, they get another small advantage, but can't really transition it into much.
7,000 gold lead. Thaldrin saved there by Dumbledoge. And of course, in that game, the only game the Turkish team has lost in the 5v5. They also first picked Kindred Jungle for Crystal.
Oh, goodness
wow.
gracious. Naru has to get back. Smurf just wanders after him, though. That's the shutdown. Kira's survived.
Maybe a little bit of overconfidence creeping in for Turkey that goes for the outplay, but now everyone's in kind of a bit of trouble.
Yeah. Dark Passage going to be taken there from Crystal. His namesake, not too bad. Doldrin, oh, that flash from Kira was fantastic.
And now Doldrin's in trouble. This is a big overreach out of the Turkey lineup.
He still wants it. He was looking for Lex there as he was skirting around, but...
It's not over yet, boys, because now Smurf is in a little bit of trouble. The rest of the Turkish team, they're grouped up. This is going to be a 3 versus 4. Cocoon holds Timashka in place while the rest of the TCL are backing. The Riposte got rid of the death sentence, and Doldrin has still not backed Smurf. He's chasing. Crystal gets chunked by that piercing arrow. Goes down the Tiamat strike, and TCL have managed to get away.
Coming back into the top lane. This chase has gone on for so long that all of a sudden the little blocks once again looking for blood, but we will get a little bit of a reprieve and everyone will regain some composure.
And Holy Phoenix, 6-0-1, 80 CS up. He's got a Mercurial Scimitar. He's just doing so much damage.
Two full items ahead of Lex right now.
Insane.
If you want a gold value for that, that's about 5,000 gold that he's up.
Yep. We'll just about do it.
That's actually scary when you think about it, because the 6,000 gold lead that TCL have ahead is entirely in Holy Phoenix. So if by some miracle Kira learns to use Destiny in the correct place, he could gold card Holy Phoenix from behind. But that is a very big if, because TCL could just kill him before he arrives, and they could just sit around. There's a lantern to save him. And then, of course, the Starladder backline's under threat as well. But Holy Phoenix has not made mistakes yet, so not likely.
He hasn't. Holy Phoenix has been playing very well after the day one. I think has really stepped up his game. But Smurf is on the champion to be able to deal with Kalista. I talk about this a lot, but Kalista has to rend early against Fiora, because otherwise Fiora can catch her once she's got 20 to 40% cooldown reduction. And we'll see whether Smurf is able to make that matchup work in the late game for himself.
Naru uses his ultimate on the Raptor.
Why not?
Well, exactly.
It's on such a short cooldown.
Already halfway done as Naru still hunt. Whoa, that chain went for a long way.
Yeah.
Big old.
But again, TCL, see, they can't siege. They cannot get under tower. The wave clear is too high, so the game is stalled out because Turkey's trying to get some vision control maybe around the Baron pit, and if they can find a good pick, they can then set themselves up. The difficulty with taking Baron against Twisted Fate is obviously the Destiny.
Yeah, but I honestly like what TCL is doing as they go in.
Yeah, there's the Fate's call. Smurf gets hooked up as well. Does have the riposte available, but that's a rend. That'll kill him. Turkey seeing whether they can find more. That could be the pick that spells Baron. Death sentence. Can't hook a turret, Dumbledore. I like the optimism, though.
And we'll see whether they continue the siege here, because honestly, they want to continue to use Baron. Wow.
Naru from the back to Mashke gets chained up. There's the snare as Kira trying to do some work. Windslash picks up the kill. This Holy Phoenix is darting around. They will end up finishing off the turret. Pillar of Flame not to find anyone as Kira. Oh, goodness gracious.
The red set it up.
Death sentence is aptly named in the hands of Dumbledore.
And such good positioning from Naru. The threat from behind forces CIS's hand. They can't dodge everything from two directions. Turkey get 2 kills, the tower, and the Baron.
And I was going to say, the reason I like the fact that they're not going for Baron is because while Smurf isn't on the map, there's no threat to Holy Phoenix. So just continue to pressure around. That's Dumbledore going in again.
Yep, come and hang out. They do take the Baron with the Ren. Demonko is so dead. Smurf may follow now, but they don't have a lot of mana on Holy Phoenix. He probably wants to go back and spend his billions of gold on about 15 items, if only.
And Naru pushes into the base, takes out the first base turret of the game, so now there is an open way in there. He's going to kill him.
Oh, my goodness.
Wow, he's still alive.
That was a good flash.
The rest of CIS is still chasing, and Naru even escapes that.
Yeah, so Naru able to get out. And all of a sudden, level 16s have been reached on all 3 primary carries on the TCL lineup. And that's what I was going to say. If they hold off on fighting, even if they're ahead until level 16, Riven, LeBlanc have such huge damage increases. It's like their last hurrah in the game. And now that they've reached that with Baron buff, with an open inhibitor on the bottom side of the map, Summoner's Rift really is their oyster. They can go wherever they want.
What a difficult position to be in if you're CIS. You figure, right, I'll ban Irelia. Oh, now Kira's in trouble. Oh, red card's not going to help you.
Windslash comes in.
Easy kill. You ban the Irelia. Right, we'll talk about that later. Holy Phoenix is being jumped on.
Yeah, grand challenges there. Smurf looking to try and pick him up. The red comes down. How is he still alive? He's got so much life steal. Tries to run it out. The shutdown comes in, but man, that was closer than it should have been.
He jumped into the wall 3 times. He was trying to get over. He just couldn't make it. But it doesn't really matter. They picked up a cross-map kill. They do get the shutdown onto Holy Phoenix, but 2 members of the Turkish squad pushing in on this bottom inhibitor.
They just don't have enough men on the map to the Starladder side as Naru's going to make his way down as well. Thaldrin made short work of that one. Dark passage to safety.
And that's meant to be the tankiest member of CIS. One combo from Naru dropped him to 10% hit points.
This is what we said. Level 16 LeBlanc. She's just an absolute menace.
Whoa, Chains of Corruption. Not going to find it. Dumbledore doesn't get the death sentence either. TCL, they've taken the bottom inhibitor. Might be all they need at this stage.
Yep, turn their attention top lane. Deal with that minion wave that CIS have pushed out. Baron should wear off very soon-ish. It's about a minute away, minute and a half. So that'll allow Turkey to get to that inner turret in the top lane and just wait for supers down bottom. It's, again, just by the numbers. It took them 36 minutes to win game 1 of this series. They very realistically could be on par in game 2.
And the next game, either way that this goes, even if Starladder somehow makes the comeback, they need to address the mid lane. 0-5-5. Twist Effect just not having the impact they're looking for. Naru, once again, 5-2-6. Has just been absolutely everywhere. And even though it's not a huge kill game, like you look at Holy Phoenix, the pressure that was generated out of that mid lane is just becoming unbearable.
And this is Naru as well. This guy's often a shot caller for his team, Dark Passage. And he's a confidence player. And right now, I don't think you could have more confidence than he has right now. Look at him, face plant for fun. Well timed, Naru. Thank you.
Dumbledore just even built himself up over 3,000 hit points.
I like to think he's doing it on purpose. I tried to talk him up, he killed himself. You try and talk him up, he headbutts a wall.
Cocoon finds Kira. Crystal is locked down in place, but they're investing everything just for the jungler. Will this result in more? Goldcard gets insta-cleansed away as Holy Phoenix is trying to get out. The Seer from Demonko finds no one as Holy Phoenix is caught up. The chains from Naru find nobody either. They traded 1 for 1. Junglers are down. Kiro follows suit. Thaldrin jumps in for the stun and Smurf is pulled backwards. Demonko is wailing away and Holy Phoenix is running down. The Seer was slow. Play to the Ruined King. Connects. There's 1 kill away. Holy Phoenix is going through past the inhibitor turrets. Naru wants to donate it. It's a pentakill!
Holy Phoenix coming up massive on Kalista, able to pick up our first pentakill of the tournament. This will be Turkey winning game number 2. And what can the CIS region do?
36 minutes in the game. The Nexus is destroyed. Holy Phoenix, 12-1-4 pentakill to get them the win. Turkey 2-0, the grand final of IWCA.
1 game left, Atlas, and you have to think that a lot of pressure is on the mid laner of the CIS region. 2 games in a row, Kira has just not been able to go with Naru.